Okay, this is a response to Reasonably Speaking regarding your video, The Atrocities of Yahweh, specifically regarding slavery. First of all, I would like to tell you that my response is not personal. I have nothing against you. I respect you as a person. I love you as a human being, but I strongly disagree with your opinion. So please don't take this personal, okay? Now, I will start with this. Since you are approaching an issue regarding God, Yahweh, and apparently you have read and studied the Bible, there are two ways of answering your video. First of all, assuming that you do believe that God is God, that there is God, that God is real, and that God is the creator of heaven and earth and everything that is in it. And another way to answer is assuming that you do not believe that God is the God of the Bible, the God that we believe and know, first of all, from His revelation in the Bible, and because I personally have a relationship with Him. So my answer would be this. I must make it clear that slavery is sin. I have no argument there. Slavery is sin. But so is murder, adultery, thief, robbery, taking God's name in vain, giving false testimony. All these are sins. I don't argue about the fact that slavery is a sin. Now, we must consider who is considering slavery and in this time, in our conversation, my reply to you and in your video. Aren't you judging the issue of slavery based on the 21st century's human-made standards of morality and ethics? I believe you do. Again, I don't condone slavery. I don't think slavery is a good thing. But in order to analyze and judge and understand and interpret what was happening 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, we must consider the culture in which we live. Okay. God is the creator. That's a principle that we have to begin with. He is the creator of all things, and as creator He owns everything. He owns the whole universe. He owns this planet. He owns this country. He owns you and me. He owns the internet. He owns everything. All right? And since God is God and there is nobody above Him, He doesn't have to give an account for what He does to anybody, especially created beings like us with limited understanding, limited knowledge, with limited abilities, and with limited, if any, control of things happening around us. So, starting with that premise, I would say that God created this world, God created all things, and He declared them good. Now, where does slavery come from? Did God invented slavery, or He instituted slavery? I disagree. Slavery, it's a sin committed by sinful man. There was no slavery before the fall, when everything was perfect. Slavery as a sin entered into mankind as a result of the original sin. Therefore, just as you cannot blame God for adultery or for robbery or for lying or for stealing, you cannot blame God for slavery, because slavery is an act, an invention and an act of human beings, as sinful human beings. Therefore, we have to agree to the fact that God did not invent, He did not establish slavery. All right? Do we agree on that? Now, how did slavery come into existence? Through the wickedness of man, through the evil man, through selfishness, through greed, through many ways. But slavery entered into the mankind through man, not God. God did not ordain slavery. All right. Now, once slavery was part of our culture, and because God, although He is omnipotent and He is a loving God, He has not deemed right to abolish slavery or forbid slavery, just as it is not, it would be not right for God to forbid or abolish any sin in the world, because if that was so, there would be no sin in the world. There would be no murder, no rape, no adultery, no robbery, no sin in the world. So God allowed slavery to continue because man must be held responsible for his actions. I'm looking at the clock and I'm not sure I will be able to finish what I have to say in this video, so it's very likely that I'm going to make another one to continue the topic, because I do want to approach some of your points. But I wanted to make clear that, first of all, God is the supreme being, that everything belongs to Him and everything is under His control, that God did not establish nor invent slavery, and in particular, and sin in general. Sin is not God's invention. So I will continue in the next video, in part 2.